All right. This one's the mic? Yeah, I think the mic is this way. Good morning. We're recording in the morning, which is different to normal. Hey, Stu.
Yeah, very different. Perhaps because your mind will be sharper being early, you may get into a rhythm of pointing the recorder at who's talking at the appropriate time.
Hey, I feel like you've been trying to tell me something over the last couple of episodes about where to have the mic.
Yeah, well, it's just... If we go to the trouble of recording these, it's just people want to hear it, I guess. It's just the basic idea of it. Yeah.
Can I ask where you got this notion that people want to hear it?
Well, when I say people want to hear it, I mean, if they've chosen to press play, ideally they'll be able to make out the words being said.
I was under the assumption that at least 70% of our downloads were accidental and plays were accidental.
Yeah, or people training to be mechanics, listening for any engine trouble.
Wow, wouldn't that be good to find out that we were used in a mechanics training video one day?
Absolutely. Look, I'm thinking about a new theme song. What do you reckon?
Sure.
What's the goal now? You're fucking whole now. Is that appropriate or?
No, I don't like that at all.
Okay.
It seems inappropriate for the morning time.
Yeah, it's a bit energetic for the morning, sorry.
I thought you were going to go something more along the lines of like a breakfast show kind of vibe.
Oh, with lots of kind of whoop, 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 ding, wooga.
Nice. I was thinking a breakfast television show, but yeah, I like your breakfast.
Okay,
No, I like your breakfast radio show, like flushing toilet sounds and it's Rambo and Jumbo in the morning, that kind of vibe.
Stu and the Shunt Dog coming at ya.
Oh, Shunt Dog's up to his old things.
You got a non sequitur there for us, Shunt Dog?
Now let's prank call someone. Yeah, all right, enough of that. We could go on with that for a while. All right, Stu, we're back in the car. I did a post on Instagram.
Yeah, good for you. You are a social media mogul. That's what I would call you.
There must be a thing, a social media mogul?
Well, just social media, a doyen is probably what I was going for, a little more than mogul.
You don't hear doyen so much no more, do you?
It's a go-to for me. I love doyen.
You have said doyen to me a bit more than other people have said doyen.
Probably not about you very much.
Just once.
Just then.
Stu, there's a lot to talk about in sport, and they'll probably lead us to a lot of tangents as they usually do.
Oh well, don't give the game away. We don't ever go on tangents about things.
Quite often we start the show by saying we're the #1 tangential sports podcast.
No, quite often we start the show me reminding you that you have to point the recorder at me occasionally.
Yeah, very often. So, yeah, we're back in the car, thinking sports, talking sports.
Yeah, probably a bit less Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves talk this week, but that's probably for the best, I would think.
I didn't think it would come up at all, yet there it is.
Well, it's come up in that it's just letting people know not to expect it coming up, so that's, a reason to stick around.
Did you see that chair? That's a good-looking chair.
No, I did not. My eyes are on the road.
Oh, it was like a good lazy boy style chair on the side of the road.
Are you asking me to go back?
No.
Here we are again, friends. This is the last of this series of specials. What's the go with weird stuff specials? This one's a bit of a mishmash. There's some stuff from in the car. There's some stuff from out of the car. And there's even a bit from a different podcast, Dad Pants, which is a podcast celebrating dadness. Check it out. Search it in your pod player. So, yeah, enjoy these random, odd conversations.
It's hard, isn't it? Because you can't shoulder charge anyone anymore.
Yeah.
And you can't put your arm near their kind of upper torso, it seems, in case you hit a head. Yeah. And people don't like you tackling around the knees no more, do they?
Well, more just the dropping all your weight onto their fucking knees. What the fuck are you doing?
That was a car thing.
Sorry for the silence there. I just had to stare back at the person as we went past him. As, you know, not that achieved much. Do you know whenever anyone's a dick in traffic, you always feel a real strong need to get a look at him?
Yeah, absolutely. So my wife's Canadian. I don't know if I brought that up on the show before, but in Canada, and especially on this one road, it's a kind of small places, less people, but you drive the QE2, which is the road between Calgary and Edmonton.
Oh, yeah, I know it.
Fucking every car you drive past, at any speed, you make eye contact with the driver for the whole time you're passing. It weirded me the fuck out. The first time I was driving that road, Lynn said, I said, why is that guy looking at me, Lynn? Why is that guy? She said, what do you mean? Why aren't you looking at him? And I was like, what? Yeah, you overtake anyone, you look directly at them. It's fucking weird.
Why is that a social convention?
I don't know. It's really weird though. It is done by young and old. All you hold your wheel, you look directly at the person next to you the whole time you're passing them. Yeah.
So tell me this. Yep, pointed at me. There we go. You know, in Australia, we have the one finger raised off the steering wheel, an acknowledgement to someone who's come past. Is there a Canadian equivalent to that?
You know, I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of driving past anyone on small roads. No. You know what I mean? Because it only really happens in Australia when there's not many people, right?
Or, yeah, the road's so skinny, someone has to stop and let someone through.
Yeah.
And you give that, you know, I reckon that deserves more than a raised finger, personally, if someone's stopped to let you through.
To let you through? Absolutely. I give a hand. I'll give them a hand.
Whole hand.
Yeah. No, I think the finger is just to acknowledge you're there also. I'm here, you're there.
It's kind of dismissive. It's a, yeah, righto, mate. Righto.
Indeed. Yeah. The QE2, that road I was talking about, it's not a untrafficked road either. You're staring at hundreds of people in that trip. Okay. I've also been told it's a 3-beer minimum, that road too. It's about a 2-hour drive.
All right. I don't know how much more people, myself included, but people will want to hear about a road in Canada. So,
you ever seen that movie Sexy Beast?
You're about to do a lookalike for the guy in the car next to us. I don't like the fact you brought up looking at people next to you, because that's just what you're going to do for the rest.
No. Did you see Donald Pants Trumps? That's not right. It's not a good way to start the show. Look, let's try that again. Did you see Donald Trump's backwards pants?
I did not. I read a headline and there was, unhelpfully, not a picture with it.
Really? The picture's hilarious. I had a look at the picture. Unfortunately, I've read another headline this morning and then looked at the picture. They were forwards pants, but he was just doing something weird where, I don't know what he'd been doing, maybe squats or something beforehand. But then apparently he asks his people to like steam clothes while they're on him.
He asked people to steam his clothes while he's wearing them.
Yeah, apparently that's been going on for like 8 years. He doesn't have time to like iron them or steam them before putting them on.
Right.
So people steam clothes that are on him, hence the weird
Okay, but
look.
If he doesn't have time to do that, what's he doing while the steaming's going on?
I assume he's like standing there talking to people and there's someone knelt down steaming his pants. It's a weird concept.
Have you... I haven't seen that photo, but I have seen the one where he's clearly wearing adult nappies.
Is he, though, or is he just a thick-bodied man?
It looks like adult nappies.
He's a real thickie.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Thick dude.
Sneaky thick.
Sneaky thick. I think he's sneaky big.
He's not, he's sneaky... He's over...
He's like 6'4"?
It's really 6'4".
Yeah, see, right? Sneaky big.
Yeah.
I think he's humongous.
All right. Now, this sounds planned, but it's not.
Does it? Did you hear the beginning when I said Trump backwards? That's not planned.
But that's a good segue into Dad Pants, which is, another new episode this week. Get into it. Monty talking about his journey to fatherhood, bit of birthing class gear, some other stuff. You'll love it.
Also, the potential for underwater humans. I'll let that sit there.
Yeah, just let
you find out.
Yeah.
All right, back to our current podcast. Current as in we're recording it now. Yeah, I don't know. The Trump stuff got me, man. I like reading those weird stuff, and I hadn't heard from him in a while.
Yeah, well, that's because he keeps getting booted off social platforms, surely.
It is.
Because
It really does seem like there's been a uniform agreement to not write about the cunt.
Yes, well said. Yeah, that seems to have happened.
Well, at least here in Australia that we see, you know.
Do you think the agreement was, let's not write about him until he wears his pants backwards?
I don't know about this crazy maniac who ran the world. He's just not interesting enough anymore. We need a hook.
Ha! Look at his pants! Yeah, so it was really upsetting today to find out that they were on the right way. There was good speculation yesterday about if they were on backwards, is it worse if he forgot to put his pants on the right way round, or if he peed his pants and then turned them around so that it would look like
the patch would be under his jacket or something?
Exactly. What's worse there?
Well, he's clearly forgotten to wear his diapers that day.
Yeah.
I like saying diapers. I don't get much of a chance, but because we're talking about an American specifically, I can say diapers.
With me having a baby coming up, we say diapers a lot at home because Lindsay's Canadian. They say
right.
Diapers over there.
Yeah, right.
I think nappies is not that universal. Maybe the Brits say it?
Yeah, I was about to say, where would the word diaper come from? But more importantly, where would the word nappy come from?
I don't know if it's more important. They're probably of similar importance.
Well, nappy sounds a bit weirder.
It does.
In reflections.
Diaper sounds a bit more medical.
Yeah. That's probably, you know when you find the end of a conversation?
Yep.
It kind of comes up and slaps you in the face sometimes.
And then we go back to it on this podcast, it seems to me.
There are times in a man's life.
Go on.
No, that's it. There are just times in a man's life. 3:15's one of them. And 12:47's another.
Did you pick those times for any reason?
No, they are times, though, in a man's life. They're just times.
Yeah, there's not infinite times, though, is there? Is time a thing, too? Like, time's a flat circle, right? Like, we don't think time's real. We made
Did
time.
you say time's a flat circle?
I did.
Did you mean to say that?
I did. You unfamiliar with that concept?
Well, but as opposed to what? What flat circle as opposed to
A
what?
linear thing. A linear happening that hasn't happened.
Oh, but I thought you meant a 3D circle of some kind.
Like a globe. Did you know, throat lozenges?
This is going to be good.
No, this relates. It relates.
Just hang on, everyone. Just, I don't know if you're mowing or, folding some laundry. Just put it down. You don't want to throw it in the air in excitement. Lozenges, yeah. What?
Do you know why it's called a lozenge?
Lozenge. I don't suppose there's any clues in the word itself, no?
No. None.
Right.
A lozenge is a shape.
Get the fuck out of here. So it's like a 3D square with rounded edges.
Yeah, like not a cube, obviously not that, kind of rectangular sides, rounded edges, and square kind of larger sides on either side. A lozenge is a shape. Yeah, isn't that interesting? I thought you'd kind of be into that.
How long have you been sitting on that fucking gem?
About a week. I don't think I would have remembered it longer than that.
All right. My name's Stu. That's Monty. Just coming in with some fire fucking facts. And
you.
Look, you won't get a sport podcast that's sometimes car-based and often tangential, which will have better facts. I'll tell you that now.
Come on, Monty, we ain't gonna live forever.
That's a weird way to start. Hey, podcast world, it's us on the podcast again.
Well, we're not going to live forever, though. It's probably time we started thinking about that.
You said that. I think about it often.
Yeah, go on.
Well, we're not going to live forever. You got to keep that in the back of your mind all the time.
Do you think it affects how you act day to day?
Maybe, yeah, sure. If I thought I was going to live forever, I'd, do some things different, maybe.
Do you think it brings a certain amount of recklessness to your day-to-day actions?
Maybe. Maybe.
Will that change with you becoming a father very shortly? Or are you just going to say, fuck it, we're all going to die soon? Well, relatively. So who gives a fuck? Is that your attitude?
Sure.
Is that the attitude you're bringing to parenting?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out real soon.
Yeah.
Real soon.
Yeah. What's new? How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, you know. I had a long weekend off from work. You know, Australia needs to enjoy their long weekends more. We don't enjoy our long weekends.
Tell us more about this theory. What?
You know, we just, like, what is Queen's birthday weekend? What are we doing, man? Did you go away out of town?
Well, I went to the other end of Sydney, which feels like a long way away, so sort of.
Yeah, okay, see, that's the kind of malaise that's crept across this country in terms of long weekends.
What are you saying? Did you not see the news reports of, like, 50-kilometre traffic jams trying to get back into Sydney last night? People are going away for their long weekends.
That's more like it.
But what do you think's happening? People aren't taking it seriously?
Yes.
What's this based on?
Well, I don't know. It appears as if the long weekends creep up on you. I'm not thinking about when the Queen's birthday is yearly.
But enough people do, obviously, to be able to plan holidays.
Yeah, well, some of them, maybe.
So when you say everybody, you mean you just got caught by surprise by a long weekend, and now you're trying to put everyone in that bucket.
I didn't get a vibe of a long weekend. There wasn't a long weekend vibe.
Queen's birthday doesn't have a vibe.
Well, whose birthday is it? Because it's not her actual birthday, I don't think.
Do you think whoever made up the public holiday just couldn't be bothered finding out when her birthday was and just chose June?
I thought it was more like the horse's birthday, where it's a day to celebrate all Queen's birthdays.
Maybe, I don't know. You know, it's weird that we are starting to talk about something we don't know much about on this podcast, but we've found ourselves here.
Yeah, that sounds unlikely. No, I don't know much about the Queen's birthday and what it's celebrating. Are you supposed to, like, celebrate her at home?
At home?
Or in the streets?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Let's just celebrate the fact that she's 95 and still doing well. I saw her holding a sword. Did you just put the microphone to your own mouth so you could yawn into it?
It was force of habit. I thought sound coming out of this mouth. Take it back for that. What did you see her holding? A sword, did you say?
She was cutting a birthday cake with a sword.
I used to do that as a novelty at a restaurant I used to go to.
Yeah.
It's a Queen thing, is it?
Yeah, but she's still cracking wise as well.
What's the history of cakes? And specifically the history of birthday cakes?
I don't know. Well, that's a great question. I'm glad you've asked it. Is everyone ready? I'm going to settle in for half an hour of me talking about the history of cakes. Let me throw a question back at you as an answer here, because don't you reckon it's really weird that at some point in history someone wanted a nice kind of sugary, tasty treat and decided to make it with chicken fetus or bird fetus of some kind?
Oh, you mean eggs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, not as weird as you think. Because we caveman times, you're eating animals, right? You would assume that eventually you ate a chicken, and then you'd think, I want condensed chicken, and I don't want it to be running away from me when I try to get at it.
Yeah. I'm not saying the concept of eating eggs is weird. I'm saying the concept of who thought that this kind of little baked treat with flour that I'm going to make, let's mix some fetus in there.
Oh, I see. Yeah, who got put in... Yeah, I suppose it's its binding qualities.
Yeah? Well, who's the first to think, bloody hell, this has binding qualities?
Why did cakes kind of go for the uniformity of roundness?
I guess because if you're making them with your hands, it's easier to kind of cut them into a circular shape than anything else.
Yeah, no edges, I suppose.
Yeah.
Be interesting to know, what is the history of birthday cakes, though? And candles, I mean, I kind of get that. It's kind of morbid when you think about that. It's like blowing out the years of your life.
Yeah. Well, what would be kind of, I guess, a bit more poignant was if you had an idea of when you're going to die, and you work backwards. So that when the year before you're going to die, you've only got one candle left on your cake, which you then blow out, symbolising the fact that you're about to die.
It requires some foreknowledge that I don't think we have.
No, but we'll get there one day, and when we do, I hope they reverse the whole candle process, really.
This has somehow gotten back to we're not going to live forever.
Yeah. Veronica's, man.
It's Origin. Is that Origin related?
I don't know. I've just had that song in my head for a while now, and I'm going a little bit weird in the mind.
Do twins get a birthday cake each? Or do they get one cake with two, like double the amount of candles?
I wouldn't think the Veronica's ever had a birthday cake each. They're very lean.
Are they related?
Oh, you know what? I don't know. Maybe they were manufactured way in the same way that Tattoo were lesbians.
Yeah.
Lesbian lovers.
Or that,
They may well be lesbians, sorry. More that they were lesbian lovers who decided on the side to do some music which you could enjoy.
Or like manufactured in that, like Davy Jones and Pete what's his name aren't actually monkeys.
Yeah,
that kind of manufactured.
Now I'm going to do something a bit weird here. I'm going to
Nesbitt.
Mike Nesbitt.
Yeah, Mike Nesbitt's the other one. Yeah, Pete. What's Pete's last name?
Smith.
No. Pete. I don't know. I'll get back to that.
Yeah, write in if you feel obliged to. I'm going to give you actually a note.
Mickey Doolins was who I was thinking of. Mickey Doolins.
Okay. Now this is a bit indulgent, but maybe people on here might also feel strongly about it. Just a note for the other podcast. Dad Pants, which is available now. Holy shit! That bus just decided to come straight out.
He was indicating for quite some time. Stu must have looked at it.
But I'm trying to podcast here. I can't be watching the road as well. Dad Pants, right? Enjoyable podcast. Monty's about to be a dad. We talk about it. Get on it. It's good fun. But I'm sick of editing out your lip smacks. I gotta say. Yeah. And the reason I bring it up now is because I've noticed you do it several times in the last 5 minutes. You have to stop. It's.
I'm not really sure how to stop lip smacking.
Well, okay. Can we meet kind of in the middle, and maybe you don't have the microphone pointed at you, or you don't lean into the microphone before you just like lip smack back, and then lean in? Do you lip smack backwards?
Sure. Maybe if I kept my mouth open the whole podcast.
Well, yeah, get a real kind of gormless look going.
They can't see me. It's a podcast. We should move on to the topic of sport, as that's ostensibly what this podcast is about.
Yeah. Although you were asking me about soup earlier, so...
Yeah, all right, we'll get that one in. What's your favourite kind of Asian soup?
Before I answer, can I ask why you were asking me about that?
I was thinking about Asian soups and trying to rank them in my head.
Yeah, what'd you come up with?
I don't know. I toss up I think my top 1 and 2, which are kind of, that's what I was trying to work out what I prefer more, is ramen and pho.
Yeah, okay.
But you can't count out a good Laksa, yeah.
That was where I was going to go.
Yeah.
But I would have said, I reckon up until maybe a few years ago, I would have gone with my Asian soup of choice as a child, short soup.
Oh, yeah. Is that Chinese soup with egg in it?
No, it's actually a pretty shit soup on reflection. It is kind of hot, only very vaguely flavoured water with wontons in it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I understand that soup. I get it.
But someone's just dumped some bloody dim sims into hot water and called it a soup. That's average.
That's culture.
But, okay. I don't know. Well, it's weird. Like, it's like asking for wet dim sims on a plate.
What about moving to a larger topic? What is your favourite soup in general?
I don't think you can go past a really well-made pumpkin soup.
Yeah, pumpkin soups are quite nice. I don't like this modern fanciful idea of putting Thai spices in a pumpkin soup.
No, I don't think so. I reckon just kind of garlic and a few herbs. And
I want a nice crusty bread and a bit of sour cream in there on a pumpkin soup.
Yep.
I quite like a
nutmeg.
A bit of nutmeg. I quite like a French onion soup.
Yeah, I used to make French onion soup a lot. I haven't in a long time. Thank you, Monty. I think I actually will, because it's winter in Australia.
It is.
And it's really a good soup time. So, I want to make a French onion and maybe a tomato. I haven't made a tomato in a while.
Yeah, I find tomato soups can go one of two ways. One way's good, one way's bad.
Wow. I didn't see that coming.
No, it's one. If you make it too liquidy, it just tastes like a bad, weak tomato sauce.
Yeah, probably with a lot less sugar, but yeah, I see what
Not that kind of tomato sauce, like a marinara kind of.
Oh,
tomato,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Not
like a pasta sauce.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. No, write in if you think of any good soups that we've neglected to mention.
And short soup. Is that just a joke or is it a legitimate soup? What do you think?
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I don't like stews very much.
Well, who's making your stews for you? Because I make a cracking stew.
Okay. What is the difference between a stew and a soup?
Can I tell you what the key is for a stew?
Sure.
Cook it the day before you're going to eat it.
Yeah, that's good. And then it flavours itself up.
Flavours up overnight. So, yeah, cook it, let it cool, stick it in the fridge. Next day, bring it out, just warm it on your stove again, then eat it. That is flavour.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
What is the difference between a stew and a soup, do you think?
Corn flour. Well, pretty much. Just thickens it up a bit.
That's a soup.
Nope.
That's a stew.
Yes. You put corn flour in your stew, thickens it up a bit. It's more like a gravy than a straight liquid. You feel me, big dog?
Kind of, but I'm still at a loss. What differentiates between a stew and a soup?
The viscosity of the liquid.
Yeah, okay.
The thickness of the liquid.
So you want a thicker liquid in a stew?
Yeah.
But what about a pumpkin soup? You don't want that thin.
No, but, you know, there's still...
They don't call it a pumpkin stew.
But there's still a difference. If you don't know what it is, then you're not fucking looking into it very hard.
It's good. They were terrible. Why are we going here? Oh.
There's an ambulance trying to get past us and no cunny is moving out of its fucking...
I thought you were going for the old let's pick up a bus passenger.
No, I'm the only one being conscientious around here, although this guy who's
now he
at
thinks,
the bus
yeah.
stop thinks I'm here to pick him up.
Yeah. Do you want me to open the door?
Well, if you feel like telling him that we're not here for him, then that might ease that worried look on his face. I don't think I look very scary though. I've got a bit of a flat cap on while I'm driving, a bit of a dad hat. So I don't think I look very intimidating right now.
Wouldn't it be funny if you got a fine for being in a bus zone now?
Well, it's taken me a good... Oh, fuck off.
Oh, my.
I've sat here with my blinker on for ages and someone tried to zip in. Anyway, let's not worry people with that. Yeah, it was so much of a demolition. Sylvester... Oh, I forgot his fucking name then for a second. Sylvester Stallone wanted to make Demolition Man 2.
Ah, nice, okay. The joke would have worked better,
yeah. It would have been funny if I could remember his fucking name, but I'll cut all that out so I sound brilliant.
Yeah, I wonder how Sly is these days.
Yeah. Probably 70 and looking weird because he's a bit roided up.
Yeah, looking real weird. Speaking of looking weird, I was watching the Friends reunion. Don't ask why, I don't like Friends, but man, they're looking weird. Except Jennifer Aniston, she looks great.
Is that because your wife wanted to watch it?
Yes.
Alright, was she into Friends?
Yeah. I was more of a Seinfeld man myself.
And yet, here you are today, a happy couple.
Yeah, opposites attract. Oh, is that a Tesla? Oh, it's a fancy one. Cool.
Are you going to miss this when we're not doing podcasts after this for a while?
Should we leave some time for them to answer? You mean the audience or me? Are you talking to me?
Audience.
Okay.
You can point out things that you see from a car as much as you like.
And to a whole new person soon who will be forced to listen to me. There was a new lift at our work today. And I thought the warnings for how many people in there was a bit weird. 17 people, it's quite a small space, but a mass weight of about 1,100. That feels like it's discriminating against fatties.
Yeah, but it's not saying you have to have 17 people in there.
I thought it was a mandatory 17.
No, I don't think you could get 17 in there without, going upwards, as you said. Like, you'd have to have people laying down and then lying on top of each other.
Yeah, definitely. I think to stack it that way, yeah, you'd want a flat lie down rather than a stand-up sardine squash.
Yeah.
Although maybe a sardine squash level followed by a lay down on top level, or two.
Okay.
What are you having for dinner?
I am going to make some tuna pasta, I believe.
Oh yeah, tell me about your tuna pasta.
I don't usually make tuna pasta. Mish usually makes tuna pasta.
Okay.
You probably have this, I don't know. You have like meals, like your wife makes certain meals, I make certain meals. You don't usually broach into the other person's territory.
Absolutely. Yes, I feel you on that.
But because I'm at the arse end of my shop cycle,
Yes, say no more.
pasta and tuna is all I've really got.
Does your tuna pasta have like sauce? Like, what do you do sauce-wise? We don't
Does
do
my
a tuna
pasta have sauce? What are you asking me? If I just pour like a tin of tuna on some dry pasta?
Is it a white sauce? Is it a red sauce? Is it a pesto sauce?
Well, you're asking me what I usually do. I've just told you I don't usually do it.
What does she usually do?
She usually does a tomato based sauce. I'll be doing that again tonight.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'd rather not make anything too creamy if my son's eating it because
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
dietary thing. So yeah, tomato based is fine. I'll make now I've got some zucchini, some carrot. I'm going to fry those up. A bit of mushroom. Oh, mushroom?
okay.
No, not mushroom. No, forget the mushroom. Forget I said mushroom. Monty.
No, okay, I've forgotten. Yeah, it's gone. Can't remember it.
So yeah, I'll put a bit of zucchini, bit of carrot, some peas. Some peas.
Ooh.
Olives,
Black.
calamari,
Yeah, okay.
and then some tuna on top. So that's going to be it.
Well, that doesn't sound too bad.
No, it's all right. I'll probably make enough for lunch tomorrow too.
Okay.
How's your dad week been?
Good dad week.
You felt any real dad progression this week? I'll say that again because I said progression instead of progression. You had any?
No progression.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, you get the idea.
Yeah, look, I've had lots of progression. I think every day is dad progression. If it's not dad progression, yeah, what is it? You know, if you're not first, you're last. You know what I'm saying?
In the dad states.
I don't know if that works for that, but yeah, no, if you're not progressing every day, you're not doing the right thing. I think one of the big progressions that's come at this age, she's roughly 12 weeks old, and I think something my wife and I were talking about was that one of the things we've changed is that we're less worried that we're going to break her or that she's going to break.
Yeah,
we're a bit more confident with our parenting in that she can cry in her bed and we don't immediately get up and run. We can go, okay, give her a sec. She might, get herself back.
Yeah.
She's been really, really into
yoga.
trying to self-soothe.
Oh.
That's a hard thing to say. Self-soothe this week using her hands. She has been trying to put her whole fist in her mouth, which has been a fun week. But, no, it's a definite dad progression week.
Good. Well, it sounds to me like your progression is doing less, though. Does that sound about right?
It's an old football quote. Sometimes you've got to go backwards to go forwards.
All right. Well, I've got a little question for you, actually. I need to know whether this is a sad dad thing.
Uh-oh.
Obviously still in lockdown in Sydney, which means wearing masks wherever you go, right?
Yeah.
Now, I had to visit the geniuses this week, the Apple geniuses, right?
Yep.
Who needed my phone for an hour to diagnose that it did indeed have a cracked screen. But which means I had to hand my phone over and then go wandering around for an hour. Now, have you done that? Like recently, have you actually ever gone anywhere without your phone for about an hour? It feels weird.
Whoa. I feel like there was. I think I agree completely, and it feels so weird that I have a recollection that sometime in the past year or two, I forgot my phone or it ran out of battery somewhere, and I remember it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it must have been very weird. Can I also step back a second there? The Genius Bar, the Apple Store, feels very intertwined with being a dad. Feels like there's a lot of dadness that happens there, whether it be complaining to the geniuses, telling them you know better, asking them for things you don't know about. It feels like there's a dad vibe there.
Oh, from dads to geniuses or from the geniuses?
Look, it's a general vibe. It can go either way.
I don't know about the geniuses, but certainly,
dad to genius.
Yeah, certainly at the front of the Apple Store, they do have a dad-like kind of military precision of who are you, what are you doing here, stand there, what exactly do you want, fill in this.
Dads love a bit of that. Hey, I found it. Speaking on this, we go on tangents, but it kind of relates. I found a good Instagram account that we can post on the socials called Sad Men Shopping. And it's just pictures, candid pictures of what appear to mainly be dads dragged out to kind of go clothes shopping or things like that, sitting on chairs holding bags or falling asleep and stuff like that.
I want to see it, but I feel like I already know what it all looks like without even seeing it. But
of course you do. Yeah. Of course you do.
But I still got to look anyway. So, yeah.
So how did you go for your hour without your phone? That must have been weird.
The problem is that I reached for my pocket 3 times in that hour. Like, before you're thinking, my hand just went down there and went, oh, yeah, that's right.
Of course.
Yeah. Like, and which irritated me because, obviously, how did it come to this? How did I get so kind of instinctively dependent on this thing? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a worry, isn't it? We're cyborgs. We're half phone, half man.
More worrisome than that, though, was the fact that in order to entertain myself, and this is the sad dad bit, because obviously I was wearing a mask, I started doing my bird impression.
Nice.
Wandering around, saying things to people under my breath.
I like it.
Now, that movie's 10 years old. So does that make me a sad dad that I'm still doing impressions from this movie?
I think it's better than doing impressions from the Jim Carrey movie The Mask. That's even older, and I think that would have sounded weirder.
A little harder to do under your breath too, I would say.
Somebody stop me.
But, you can say under your breath when you walk past someone, you've got some bananas. I've got bananas too. They're full of potassium.
Another one you could have been doing is a man in the iron mask, which I assume we're actually all doing all the time because he didn't say much, did he?
No. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Hard to rip a quote from that one.
Yeah. Well, no, don't worry about the quotes. I think it's just the mask concept.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you're sad. I think wearing a mask out has got me doing stuff. I quite often mouth swears at people.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't see your mouth. And usually the stuff that I would normally want to say to them but don't, I mouth it.
Yeah. Look, I know this is meant to be a quick intro, but it has brought up another point that happened at the Apple Store, right? One of the, PASAG people out the front organising, yeah?
Oh, yeah, yep.
I could tell she was smiling at me through a mask because her smile kind of radiated out across her face into her eyes and the rest of her face. So I could tell that she was giving me a big smile under her mask.
Well, that's nice.
Now, I smiled back, but she just kind of looked at me like I was just staring at her. So I don't think my smile spreads very far. That's a problem when everyone's masked up. Some people have got an advantage because you can see their smile across the rest of their head.
Expressive foreheads. Yeah, so as a dad, this brings up, do you think with mask wearing probably going to become more, not constant, but, there'll be more mask wearing in the lives of our children, probably. Do you think that we will adapt as humans and become more expressive with our eyebrows and foreheads?
I thought you meant just breathe through the top of our skulls or something.
Wow, no, that's the next step in evolution. I think first we get expressive and can just kind of communicate through eyebrow gestures.
Well, yeah, but are you talking naturally or do we have to come up with some sort of eyebrow code that replaces lower face expression?
Yeah, I think this is the century of the upper face. It's time to start using the upper face. No more lower face use. People will see us talking with our mouths and go, oh, those lower face talkers, leave
right. Okay, well, I think just before we quickly get on to some quick, Monty, international news.
I get you. Yeah.
I think we should probably give your news, shouldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I have decided to have elective surgery and gain a third leg. Not in a sexual way, just an actual third leg.
No, come on, what's your news?
Moving to Canada. Is that what you're talking about? Moving to the other side of the world? Yeah.
Packing your family up and...
Yeah, I'm packing up my little daughter and my lovely wife, and we're heading, and the 2 greyhounds, and we're moving to Canada.
Can I just say that I would love to sit next to a greyhound on a plane? That would be pretty good.
Mate, they are costing me a fair whack of money to get to another country, and they're going in style.
Can't you just get different ones when you're there? They all look alike, don't they?
If I got 2 new black ones, they'd look pretty similar. But no, I love these 2. They're very nice. Well, I love one of them a lot. The other one's here. And they're going to, it'll be interesting to see greyhounds in minus 30 degrees.
That's right, because you're moving to Edmonton, which gives me a chance to do some Bill Burr gear.
Oh, yeah, go on. What do you got?
Go the fucking Oilers. That's my Bill Burr.
Why does Bill Burr talk about Edmonton?
He likes the Oilers.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. The fucking Oilers.
Wouldn't he like the Bruins? He seems very Boston.
Oh, maybe he does like the Bruins. Well, I've heard him yell about the Oilers a lot, so I assumed he liked them, but maybe he doesn't.
Maybe he does. I'm not sure.
Right.
I don't think he's Canadian. Either way,
retract that bad impression then from the record.
We're going in 6 weeks, so we're going to get this. We're going to get this format under like, I don't know what under. I started saying under. It's not what I meant. We're going to get it down pat. We're going to get it. Is it down pat or packed?
I think if you're trying to convince people we're going to get things nice and schmick, you've got to be able to finish a sentence without distracting yourself.
But I think people want to know these things. Like, I think that's what they come for, to hear 2 men argue over if it's down pack or down pat.
Oh, it's down pat, for sure.
Which one? What did you say?
The down pat.
Pat. P-A-T?
Yeah.
I thought it was down pack.
Wow.
That's really all I had on basketball.
That's fine, because we need to finish. Do you think people enjoy podcasts where one host is just telling the other one to hurry up so we can finish?
I think that's actually a good conceit for a whole podcast. One person's trying to go on longer, and the whole time, from the very start, the other one's trying to speed it up and wrap it. That's funny.
I've got an early start.
Like
Let's just get to the end.
This is an Angry Chimp podcast.